Question 1. In the number 43.21, which digit is in the tens place? Just a quick revision. This is the ones place. This is where the tens place is. This is the 10th place. And the digit 1 is in the 100th place. So the answer for question 1 is option 4. Question 2. Which of the following is the same as 50 kg and 80 grams? Now, first you must notice that the options are all in grams, so you need to change the 50 kilograms to grams. Knowing that 1 kg is equals to 1000 grams, 50 kg will be equals to 50,000 grams. All you have to do is to multiply 50 by 1000. So if you were to add it up, 50,000 grams plus 80 grams, that will give you 50,080 grams. So the answer for question 2 is option 3. Question 3. Which of the following shows 1/4 of the figure shaded? This is 1/5. Option 2 is not 1/4 because the triangles are not the same in size. This is more like 1/6. Option 3, 2/8 of the triangles are shaded, and the simplest form is 1/4. Or you can cut out one triangle from the top and then paste it below, and then you can see that 1 out of 4 rectangles are shaded. Option 4, 4/9 of the figure is shaded. So the answer for question 3 is none other than option 3. Question 4. Which pair of lines are parallel? Parallel lines are lines that will never meet no matter how long you extend them. So option 1, we have AB and BC. These two lines are perpendicular to each other, not parallel to each other. Option 2, CD and FE. Now CD cuts across 2 squares by 3 squares, while FE cuts across 1 by 2 squares. Therefore, these two lines are not parallel. Option 3, ED and AB. At one glance, we know that these two lines are parallel to each other. Option 4, FE and AF. Since they meet each other, they are confirmed not parallel lines. So the answer for question 4 is option 3. Use the information below to answer question 5 and 6. Jill baked some muffins to sell at a fun fair. Figure 1 shows the number of muffins that was sold. Figure 2 shows the number of muffins left unsold at the end of the fun fair. So make sure you read the question carefully. Figure 1 is about the number of muffins sold, and figure 2 is about the muffins that are unsold. For questions on graph, you got to read the scale carefully. Every interval has a value of 2. Write down the quantities for each category so that it reduces the chances of you making careless mistake. For apple muffins, 24 are sold. For banana is 30, and for chocolate muffins is actually 28. As for the unsold muffins, for apple is 18, for banana is 16, and for chocolate is 10. So with these numbers, we are able to solve question 5 and 6 easily. Question 5. What was the number of chocolate muffins Jill baked? So to do that, we have to add the sold and unsold chocolate muffins. So 28 plus 10, the answer is 38. For question 5, the answer is option 4. As for question 6, how many apples and banana muffins were left unsold after the fun fair? So we look at figure 2, we look at apples and bananas. 18 apples and 16 bananas respectively were unsold, so that will give us 34. Hence the answer is option 2 for question 6. Question 7. Express 9/1/50 as a decimal. So what you can do is to change 1/50, change the denominator to 100, so you get 2/100. Remember, if you were to have 2/10 converted to decimals, you will get 0.2. If it's 2/100, you get 0.02. And if it's 2 over 1000, you get 0.002. So 2 over 100 in this case is 0.02, and don't forget to add the 9 whole in front, and we will get 9.02. So the answer for question 7 is option 3. Question 8. The figure shows part of a scale. Which of the following is closest to the reading shown? To solve this question, we have to find out the readings on the scale. Between 250 and 300, there are 5 broad intervals. Alright, what do I mean by that? This is 1. This is the second interval, the third broad interval, the fourth one, and the fifth one. So every broad interval has a value of 10. So this is 260, this will be 270, this will be 280, this will be 290, and then we have 300. As you can see in green, the reading is somewhere in the middle of 270 and 280. So 275 will be the closest to the reading shown. Question 9. Each figure below is made up of 4 identical rectangles and 2 identical squares. Which one has a line of symmetry? Option 1 has no line of symmetry at all, so it's option 2. Option 3 also does not have a line of symmetry. Option 4 has a line of symmetry as drawn. So the answer for question 9 is option 4. Question 10. The table shows the points scored by 5 participants in the game. Which of the following bar graphs represents the information shown in the table above? As we can see from the table, participant D has the highest number of points. As such, option 2 is out because over here C has more points than D. Participant B has the least number of points. Because of that, option 3 is out because over here participant E actually has lower points than participant B. So we are left with 1 and 4. Participant C actually have more than A, but in this case it does not reflect that in option 1. So 1 is also out. So option 4 is the best answer for question 10. Question 11. At first, Ali and Bala were facing the same direction. Then Ali turned 135 degrees clockwise to face west, and Bala turned 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Which direction did Bala face in the end? Now, to make sure there's no careless mistake, it's always good to draw an 8-point compass for this question. Make sure you have labeled all the directions correctly. Let's use Ali first. Ali turned 135 degrees clockwise to face west. So this is where Ali was facing in the end. So if we were to work backwards, we have to move 135 degrees anti-clockwise to find out where Ali was facing at first. This is 90 degrees and this is 45 degrees, so total of 135 degrees anti-clockwise direction, which means that Ali was facing southeast at first. Since both Ali and Bala were facing the same direction in the first place, Bala was also facing southeast at first. So now if Bala were to turn 90 degrees anti-clockwise, he will be facing northeast. So the answer for question 11 is option 1. Question 12. Which of the following fractions is closest to half? To help you better understand how to solve this question, perhaps let me use a question on whole numbers to help you understand better. Say for example, if the question is which of the following is closest to the number 10? Option 1, is it 6? Option 2, is it 8? Option 3, is it 11? Option 4, is it 14? Now obviously the answer is option 3, 11. The reason is because the difference between 10 and 6 is 4. The difference between 10 and 8 is 2. And the difference between 11 and 10 is 1. And the difference between 14 and 10 is 4. Therefore, the option with the smallest difference will be the number that is closest to the number 10. Now we're going to use the same strategy to solve question 12. The difference between half and 3/8 is actually 1/8. The difference between half and 4/9 is actually 1/18. And the difference between 7/12 and half is 1 over 12. Lastly, the difference between 9 over 16 and half is 1 over 16. As 1 over 18 is the smallest fraction here, we can deduce that 4 over 9 is closest to the fraction half. Question 13. Singh kept his gold and silver stars in 2 boxes. The ratio of the number of gold to silver stars in the first box was 1 to 5. So we have the first box, and the ratio of gold to silver stars in this first box was 1 to 5. And it was 1 to 2 in the second box. So second box, gold to silver was 1 to 2. The 2 boxes contain the same number of stars. So we should make use of constant total or total unchanged to help us equalize these 2 sets of ratio. For the first box, we have 6 units. Second box, we have 3 units in total. To equalize them, I need to multiply by 2 to get 6, 4, and 2. What fraction of Singh stars were gold stars? The total units for gold star is 1 and 2. So that's 3 over 12. 12 is derived from the sum of these two 6. And 3 over 12 in simplest form is 1 over 4. So the answer for question 13 is option 4. Question 14. A table with 4 columns is filled with numbers in a certain pattern. The first 4 rows of the table are shown below. In which column will the number 543 appear? First thing first, because of the presence of the digit 0, we have to add one more digit to 543. So we have 544. In every row, there are 4 numbers. So we're going to take 544 divide by 4. If you were to do your long division, you will get 136. Remember what I have taught you? As there's no remainder, the answer is the last number in that row. So column D will be where 543 is. Question 15. Pupils in the school are put into 2 groups for a learning journey. 2/5 of the pupils in group A and the rest are in group B. 1/4 of the pupils in group A are girls. In the school, 3/10 of the pupils are girls. What fraction of the pupils in group B are girls? So first, I'm going to do this. So we have group A, group B. Based on this statement here, 1/4 of the pupils in group A are girls. So I'm going to have a ratio. Girls to boys, we have 1 to 3. And the total number of pupils in group A is 4 units. Back to the second statement, 2/5 of the pupils are in group A. So this simply means that the total number of pupils in group A is actually 2 units, and the total number of pupils in both group A and group B are 5 units. As the total number of pupils in group A based on the earlier ratio is 4, I'm going to make use of equivalent fractions to make this 4 as well. And if I were to times 2 for the numerator, make sure you times 2 for the denominator, and then you get 4 over 10. So this represents the total number of pupils in group A, and the 10 units now represent the total number of pupils in group A and B, which coincide with the 10 units here, because this 10 also represent the total number of pupils in both group A and group B. At the same time, knowing that A and B has a total number of 10 units of pupils, and group A only have 4 units, we know that group B has a total of 10 minus 4, 6 units of pupils. So if I were to have a ratio for group B, girls to boys to total, the total should be the 6 units. Using the last clue, 3/10 of the pupils, 3/10 of all the pupils in group A and B are girls. So we have 1 unit of girls here in group A, which means that the other 2 units must be in group B. From there, if I take 6 minus 2, I'll get 4 units of poise. Since these 2 sets of ratio are both equalized, we can use it to solve the question. What fraction of the pupils in group B are girls? Is simply 2 over 6. And in simplest form is 1/3. So the answer for question 15 is option 1.